Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain people fail to earn the respect they truly deserve? You've likely come across individuals who appear to have it all: exceptional talent, sharp intellect, and remarkable achievements, yet they struggle to be genuinely valued by those around them. What's the cause of this disconnect? The answer might lie in subtle but damaging habits they unknowingly develop. These habits aren't just small imperfections. They are silent yet destructive forces that can tarnish reputations and sabotage relationships. They weaken trust, diminish admiration, and gradually erode the respect others have for them. Of course, everyone has flaws and bad habits. This is part of being human. But the habits we'll discuss today are uniquely harmful because they target the foundations of our relationships. Left unchecked, they can transform a strong friendship or a thriving professional connection into a disaster almost overnight. To help you spot and avoid these pitfalls, I'll share stories from my own journey. I've fallen into these traps before and paid the price for my mistakes. Yet those challenging moments became powerful lessons, teaching me how to grow and become a better person. Through sharing these honest and personal experiences, I hope we can learn and improve together. By recognizing and breaking free from these toxic habits, we can foster a life filled with respect, trust, and meaning. As we explore these ideas, we'll also draw inspiration from Stoic philosophy, a timeless framework for resilience, self-mastery, and inner peace. Stoicism not only equips us to endure life's challenges, but also guides us in building a life rooted in integrity and purpose. So, grab your favorite drink, settle in, and join me as we dive into this eye-opening topic. Let's begin this journey of growth and self-discovery together. Number 1. The dangers of gossiping. One of the most destructive habits is gossiping. It's so widespread that almost everyone has indulged in it at some point, yet few are willing to admit it openly. I'll be honest, I was once deeply entrenched in this habit. In school, my friends and I spent countless hours discussing other people's lives, their relationships, academic performance, and even their personal secrets. What started as lighthearted bonding eventually turned into something far more harmful. Every word we spoke was like an unseen wound inflicted on someone's dignity. I vividly recall one instance when a friend Alex overheard us commenting on his appearance. He was deeply hurt and slowly began distancing himself from our group. It was a wake-up call for me, as I saw firsthand how thoughtless gossip could fracture relationships. The impact of gossip isn't confined to personal lives. It can also wreak havoc on professional careers. I once witnessed a coworker's reputation crumble because of baseless rumors about his performance. Though these rumors were entirely unfounded, they eroded trust among his colleagues and superiors, ultimately costing him his job. Then there's the case of Anna, a talented and charismatic woman with a penchant for gossip. She often criticized her colleagues, exaggerated their mistakes, and spread false stories. Initially, people found her amusing, but over time, they began avoiding her altogether. Isolated and unable to build trust, Anna eventually resigned, unable to cope with the loneliness she had unwittingly created. The Stoics had a clear stance on gossip. As Epictetus said, "Strive for silence most of the time, speak only when necessary, and even then say little." Avoid trivial topics like sports, food, or entertainment, and above all, never gossip about people, whether to praise, criticize, or compare them. When we gossip, we waste precious time and corrode the trust others place in us. People may laugh at your stories in the moment, but they will start to wonder what you might say about them behind their backs. For Stoics, gossiping was an absolute no-go. No gossiping, no blaming, no complaining, no idle chatter. They believed that words held great power, and wasting them on meaningless or harmful conversations polluted the soul and disrupted inner peace. Now, imagine a world where gossip didn't exist, a world where people refrained from speaking ill of others, focusing instead on uplifting and constructive discussions. Such a society would be built on trust, respect, and kindness, a world worth striving for. Instead of tearing others down, use your words to inspire and encourage. Remember, your words can either wound or heal, sow conflict or foster connection. Choose them wisely. When you engage in conversations, pay attention. You'll notice that most people love talking about themselves. Even when a discussion starts about something else, it often loops back to personal experiences. This tendency can make us poor listeners, as we're often more focused on what we'll say next than on truly hearing the other person. And when the topic shifts to others, it's often to highlight their flaws. We gossip, we compare, we judge. But if you take a moment to reflect, you'll realize how unfair it is to criticize or judge someone when they aren't there to defend themselves. Words are a powerful force. They can harm or heal, divide or unite. Let's choose to use our words to build bridges, create understanding, and contribute to a more compassionate and respectful world. A single conversation can change someone's day or their life. Use that power wisely. Number 2, the importance of reliability. An individual who speaks but fails to act is like a vibrant flower with no scent, beautiful to look at but lacking substance. When someone is unreliable, trust in them begins to erode. Their inconsistency makes them unpredictable. Sometimes they follow through on their promises, but other times they don't, leaving others unsure of what to expect. This lack of dependability makes it difficult for anyone to rely on them, creating a ripple effect of doubt and frustration. Imagine if someone forgot to prepare dinner. Everyone would go hungry. I know this all too well because I used to be that person. In my younger years, my friends often joked about how unreliable I was, though deep down, it wasn't a laughing matter. I had a habit of canceling plans at the last minute or simply not showing up without any notice. I thought it was no big deal. After all, life gets busy, right? But one incident became a turning point for me. A close friend of mine, Jenny, threw a birthday party she had spent months planning. She meticulously prepared every detail, and I promised her I would attend. But on the day of the party, I got caught up in something else and decided not to go. Worse, I didn't let her know until hours after the party had started. When I finally called her, I could hear the disappointment in her voice. Although she didn't express her feelings outright, I knew I had deeply hurt her. Our friendship was never the same after that. She gradually drifted away and stopped inviting me to events. Unreliability doesn't just strain personal relationships, It can derail careers. I once saw a talented coworker lose his job because he constantly missed deadlines and failed to deliver on his commitments. His inability to follow through destroyed the trust his colleagues and supervisors had in him, ultimately costing him his position. Another example is my friend David, who was exceptionally skilled at his job and often entrusted with critical tasks. However, he frequently overpromised and underdelivered. People soon stopped relying on him because his broken promises outweighed his abilities. The Stoics remind us never to make promises we cannot confidently keep, and when we do make a commitment, we must put forth our best effort to honor it. If circumstances prevent us from fulfilling our word, we should communicate early, take responsibility, and find a way to make amends. To become a dependable person, it's crucial to honor your commitments and take your responsibilities seriously. Follow through with your promises by doing everything in your power to fulfill them. If unforeseen challenges arise, notify those involved as soon as possible and work to resolve the situation. Reliability is the cornerstone of all relationships, whether personal or professional. Without it, trust dissolves and respect diminishes. Reliability isn't just about punctuality or meeting deadlines. It's about consistency, integrity, and honoring your word. Each broken promise chips away at the trust others have in you, making it harder to rebuild those relationships. So how can we become more reliable? Start by being honest with yourself about your capabilities and limits. Don't overcommit or take on more than you can manage. When you do make a promise, give it your all to see it through. If unexpected obstacles arise, be proactive in informing others and finding alternative solutions. Show others that you value their time and efforts just as much as your own. As you navigate life and take on roles like parenting, managing projects, or working in demanding professions such as healthcare or firefighting, treat reliability as a sacred trust. Begin practicing this now by taking your current responsibilities seriously. Planning your tasks is another way to cultivate reliability. Being organized ensures you know what needs to be done and how to do it. Allocate enough time for each task, strive to meet your deadlines, and if something disrupts your plans, adapt and find a way to complete the job. By prioritizing reliability, you'll earn the respect and trust of those around you. It's a simple yet transformative way to strengthen your relationships and establish a reputation for integrity. Reliability is more than just a habit. It's a valuable asset that reflects who you are and what you stand for. Number 3. Interrupting, a habit worth breaking. Interrupting others while they are speaking is a detrimental habit that needs to be addressed. This behavior not only shows a lack of respect for the speaker, but also reflects impatience, poor listening skills, and a disregard for others' opinions. When you interrupt someone, you disrupt their thought process, making them feel uneasy and undervalued. This can lead to miscommunication, tension, and potential harm to your relationship. For instance, imagine being in an important meeting and cutting off a colleague who is presenting their ideas just to share your own perspective. This not only offends your colleague, but also derails the discussion, wasting everyone's time and productivity. Interrupting others also signals a lack of patience and attentiveness. It shows that you're more interested in expressing your views than truly understanding what the other person is saying. This can lead to misinformation and a shallow grasp of the conversation. For example, if a friend is opening up about a personal problem and you keep interjecting with advice before hearing them out, they may feel dismissed or misunderstood, which could strain your friendship. Moreover, cutting people off can convey disrespect for their opinions. By not letting others fully articulate their thoughts, you imply that your ideas are more valuable than theirs. This attitude can hurt feelings and damage trust. For instance, during a debate, if you constantly interrupt your opponent, not only will you fail to persuade them, but you'll likely alienate them and others listening. Take Danielle as an example. She's a successful professional with a high social standing, but her habit of interrupting during conversations has caused issues. In meetings, she frequently cuts off her team members, not giving them the space to share their ideas. Over time, her employees felt undervalued and stopped contributing. Some even left the company, unable to tolerate her behavior. To break this habit, focus on listening actively when someone is speaking. Resist the urge to jump in with your thoughts. Instead, allow the other person to finish. If you have something to add, wait for your turn or politely ask if you can contribute after they've completed their point. This approach not only shows respect, but also fosters stronger and more collaborative relationships. For example, during a casual conversation with friends, listen intently to their stories. Ask thoughtful questions to better understand their perspective and show genuine empathy for what they're sharing. By doing so, you demonstrate that you value their experiences and opinions. Respecting others means letting them express themselves fully before offering your input. Patient listening is not just courteous, it's a powerful communication skill that strengthens bonds and builds trust. When you truly listen, the speaker feels acknowledged and valued. This encourages them to open up further, sharing their thoughts, feelings, and experiences more freely. In turn, this deepens your connection and fosters mutual understanding. One simple way to show active listening is through nonverbal cues. Maintain eye contact with the speaker, nod occasionally to show you're engaged, and refrain from interrupting. These small gestures convey that you're genuinely interested in their words and are making an effort to understand their perspective. Remember, listening goes beyond hearing. It involves empathy and putting yourself in the other person's shoes. By understanding their emotions and thoughts, you not only become a better listener, but also a trusted confidant, someone they will feel comfortable turning to in the future. Number 4. The habit of complaining, a barrier to growth. Imagine two people visiting the same park. One storms out, grumbling, "This place is filthy and smells terrible. I'm never coming back." Meanwhile, the other exits with a smile, exclaiming, "How beautiful! The flowers and refreshing scents are everywhere." What caused such starkly different reactions to the same environment? The first individual focused on searching for trash under every flower, determined to confirm the park's flaws. The second, however, chose to appreciate the beauty of nature, paying little attention to the litter they encountered. The park symbolizes the world, while these two visitors reflect two distinct mindsets, one rooted in complaining and the other in gratitude. These ways of thinking shape not only our experiences, but also our destinies. When you focus on negativity, you get negativity. Conversely, when you embrace a positive outlook, life feels brighter and more fulfilling. It's not intelligence or knowledge that determines success, but the way we choose to think. Complaining often stems from dissatisfaction, but it is a harmful habit that damages your image and relationships. Constant complaining spreads negativity, making those around you feel drained and uneasy. Instead of tackling challenges, complainers indulge in dissatisfaction, becoming less approachable and less attractive to others. This mindset also stifles personal growth, as energy is wasted on negativity rather than directed toward meaningful goals. How you perceive and respond to difficulties shapes who you are. Instead of dwelling on complaints, learn to accept challenges, seek solutions, and focus on positive outcomes. This will help you build a constructive image and earn the admiration and trust of those around you. Complaining doesn't just affect your personal growth, it also disrupts communication. When you constantly complain, others feel uncomfortable and may begin to avoid you. Instead of forming meaningful connections, you risk alienating those who could offer support and advice. Additionally, complaining often involves blaming external circumstances or others, which reveals a lack of accountability and problem-solving ability. In the workplace, for example, it's inevitable to face pressures and obstacles, but venting frustrations through complaints, especially about colleagues or supervisors, only damages your professional image. Gossiping and griping with coworkers often escalates negativity without offering solutions, and it can harm relationships, including those with your boss. Your boss, after all, is a mentor and guide, someone who can help resolve challenges or provide valuable insights. Complaining to unrelated individuals, such as those in other departments or sub-battalions, not only wastes time, but amplifies frustration without resolving anything. This cycle of venting often spirals into unproductive conversations, leaving you emotionally exhausted and your problems unresolved. Complaints stick. People are drawn to negativity and remember it longer than positive moments. When you vent about someone, it often spreads further than intended, leaving a lasting mark on your reputation. The individual you confide in might not help solve your issue, they could even harm your image by repeating your words. The person listening to your complaint isn't your evaluator, coach, or decision maker. They're not the one recommending you for a promotion or salary raise. Instead, they might amplify the negativity, tarnishing your reputation. Rather than wasting time complaining, focus on finding solutions and improving the situation. Learn to identify the positives in any scenario and accept what you cannot change. By shifting your mindset, you'll not only feel more empowered, but also start seeing life as full of opportunities. Approach challenges with optimism. A positive outlook not only attracts good fortune, but also helps you foster meaningful, lasting relationships. By focusing on solutions rather than problems, you'll project confidence, resilience, and a sense of reliability, qualities that others will admire and respect. Remember, complaining doesn't change circumstances, but changing how you perceive and react to them can transform your life. Use your energy to create a brighter, more fulfilling future, free from the cycle of negativity. Number 5, bragging, a reflection of insecurity. Often, excessive bragging stems from deep-seated insecurities. Perhaps in the past we lacked material wealth, affection, talent, or experience. And now, having achieved those things, we feel compelled to flaunt them to prove our worth. However, When you boast, the listener is likely judging you as shallow or even crass, rather than being impressed. As you journey through life, let the wisdom of Stoic philosophy guide you. Self-control is a noble virtue. In conversations, resist the urge to let your ego dominate. Instead, focus on truly listening and showing genuine interest in others. Avoid making yourself the star of every story or monopolizing the conversation with details about yourself. Most people aren't as eager to listen as you might think. Every person carries within them a unique and rich inner world filled with their own thoughts and experiences. By opening your heart to their stories and perspectives, you create space for genuine understanding and deeper connections. Controlling your ego transforms you into a valuable companion, a sincere listener, and an engaging conversationalist. In life, no one exists as an isolated island. We all need connection and understanding. By giving others the opportunity to share their experiences, you'll discover that this is one of the best ways to build meaningful, enduring relationships. Remember, arrogance never wins hearts, and excessive boasting rarely leads to great achievements. This life is your own, and you don't need to prove your worth to others. Your possessions and achievements are tangible and real. You don't need external validation to affirm them. Your past experiences are your truth, indelible and irreplaceable. There's no need to exaggerate or boast to feed vanity, as doing so only diminishes your dignity. The more you feel compelled to show off, the more you reveal your insecurities and lack of depth. If you encounter people who habitually brag, consider keeping your distance. Their need for constant validation may drain your energy and offer little value to a healthy relationship. Choose instead to surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire, rather than those who seek to inflate their egos at every turn. We've now covered 5 common communication mistakes that can erode the respect others have for you. I hope these insights help you recognize and correct any unhelpful habits, paving the way for stronger, more meaningful relationships. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts on this topic in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this video valuable, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and family to spread these positive lessons. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep growing.